may see him in there as a pinch hitter or in some way before the game is over to keep the streak alive. Here's the first pitch to Albert Hall, taken high from Kepshire, ball one. Hall, with only 10 at-bats this year, he has 3 hits. Kepshire, 25 years old, 6'1", 180 pounds, from Bridgeport, Connecticut. And that evens the count 1-1. He began his career in the Cincinnati organization, played in the Reds minor league system for 4 seasons. Was acquired by the Cardinals in the draft in 1983. Last year split his season between Louisville and St. Louis, 7-5 at Louisville, 6-5 with the Cardinals. 2-1, the count on Albert Hall. Rafael Ramirez will follow, and then Brad Cummins. Now the 2-1 pitch coming. That caught the outside corner, 2-2. We have had some light shower activity today. Field was covered for a time before the game. And the forecast is for scattered showers, a 40% chance of scattered showers for the remainder of the afternoon and evening. They're on the cool side, too. It's only about 65 degrees. Second baseman Tom Lawless makes the play near the bag, 1 down. Now the shortstop, Rafael Ramirez. He's batting .263, 1 homer, 9 RBIs. Brad Cummins moves on deck. The 0-1 on the way, and the breaking ball stayed high, and that evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the 1-1 coming, and bounced up there, 2-1. Claudell Washington also out of the lineup today in last night's game, leaping against the right field wall in an effort to catch a ball hit by Vince Coleman that turned out to be an inside-the-park home run. Washington jammed his wrist a bit, so he's out of the lineup today with that sore wrist. 2-2, the count now on Rafael Ramirez. Cardinals also with a key injury. Tommy Herr, although he's available for pinch hitting, unable to start because of a mild hamstring pull. Nieto could not hang on. It remains 2-2. The Braves got off to a 7-4 start on road games this year, but they've now lost 7 straight. So they could use a win today. Little pop toward second. Lawless and the first baseman Clark are both over, and it's Jack Clark making the catch. The last road game the Braves won was that memorable day in Cincinnati when they exploded for 17 runs. That was all the way back on April 17th. So it's been a correction. That was on May 1st. So it's been a couple of weeks since the Braves have posted a road victory. Here's Cummins batting .253, no homers, 8 RBIs. He takes low, ball 1. Braves are off tomorrow. They'll be back home against the Pirates Friday night. Braves still uncertain of who their pitcher will be Friday. They're going to make a decision on whether or not to reactivate Pascual Perez. He may start. If not, it'll be Steve Bedrosian. Jim Wynn will be on the mound for the Pirates. 2-0, the count on Cummins. Kepshire behind 3-0. Bob Horner on deck. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that missed outside, ball 4. So the Braves get a base runner on a 2-out walk to Cummins. 224 with 3 homers, 10 RBIs. Those 2 long home runs in last night's game, accounting for all of the Braves' offense, not only in the game, but in this series as well. Kepshire delivers, and he's now missed with 5 straight.
And you saw a curveball outside, and you better believe in the Cardinal clubhouse today, they told Kurt Kepshire no high fastballs for Bob Horner. He hit 2 of them about, I don't know, about 900 feet.
Those were 2 mammoth shots. The runner is going. The 1-0 pitch. Little chopper hit up the middle. Ozzie Smith can't get it. Base hit. Cominsk will head for third. The ball booted by Willie McGee. Brad Cominsk being waved home. McGee up with the ball. He has no play, and the Braves are on the board 1-0. A break for Atlanta, as Cominsk, who was running on the play, able to come all the way around and score after Willie McGee booted the base hit by Bob Horner. No RBI, and charged McGee with an error after the Horner single.
What a great lift it is for the Braves to get a lead, especially with Rick Mailer going. A little chop single through the infield, and with Cominsk running. The minute McGee kicked the ball, Bobby Wine was waving Brad home, and of course he scored easily as the ball rolled way away from McGee. So the Braves jump out on top.
And Horner is now at second. They're going to appeal that Cominsk missed third. They throw over to Terry Pendleton, but Lee Wire rules that Cominsk did indeed touch the bag. So now with Horner at second, 1 run in, 2 men out. Here's Gerald Perry batting .218, 1 homer, 5 RBIs. One thing about booting a ball in the outfield on artificial turf, if it gets away from you, that thing just keeps rolling. It does not slow down like it does on natural grass.
And of course that happened to Claudel last night when he banged up his wrist against the wall. When that ball came off the wall, it rolled away from him, and Vince Coleman came all the way.
That evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike.
There was an article. Excuse me. Fighting a bit of a cold myself. In the paper today, there was an article with Dal Maxwell, the former Braves coach, now the Cardinal GM, and he knocked the Cardinal defense. He said the defense is much worse than we thought it would be.
Now the 1-1. Getting away from Nieto, but he recovers quickly, and Horner scurries back to second.
Only negatives, he pointed out, were Neil Allen, who they expected to be the #1 stopper in the bullpen, replacing Suter, and the Cardinal defense. We mentioned all the injuries. We should mention about Bruce Benedict. Last night there was a foul tip off the bat of Jack Clark, called by Lee Wire, except it wasn't a foul tip. That sound was the ball hitting the index finger on the left hand of Bruce Benedict. And that finger is very swollen, but he's playing today because Rick Cerrone has a virus problem.
There's the 2-1. That missed high. And the count on Perry now 3-1. There's Benedict in the lineup with a very badly bruised index finger. And here's the 3-1 pitch to Perry, and he draws a walk. So after getting the first 2 outs in the inning, Kepshire running into a problem. He's walked 2, given up a base hit. Braves have scored 1, and the batter will be Terry Harper. Harper at .275 with 2 home runs, 13 RBIs. He has had a very steady bat in recent games, 11 for his last 34. That's a .324 average over his last 9 ball games. Kepshire delivers. Caught the outside corner with a breaking ball that time. 0-1. The runners at first and second are Gerald Perry and Bob Horner with 2 men out, 1 run in. 1-1. It's a great ballpark to pitch in. 330 down the lines, 383 to the power alleys, and 414 to straight center field. Now the 1-1. Up high, 2-1. Kepshire's control eluding him. Mike Rourke, the pitching coach for the Cardinals, perched on that top step. count goes to 3-1 now, and Terry Harper looks like we're going to get some bullpen activity already for St. Louis. And Mike Rourke on his way to the mound. This has been a problem for the Cardinals. They've had good starting pitching from Joaquin Andujar. Andujar with a record of 7-1. Danny Cox has pitched well with a record of 4-1. But after that, the starters have not done much of a job as Bob Forsch goes to work in the Cardinal bullpen. John Tudor, although his ERA is good, has a one-loss record of 1-6. Kepshire is 2-4, and his earned run average is not that good at 5.75. It proves one thing. We have seen what kind of an offensive ball club this St. Louis team has the last two nights. But the fact that they are 18-19 proves that you can't win games in the major leagues without a little bit of everything working for you. Here's the 3-1, and that's nowhere near. Terry Harper will trot down to first. The base is loaded for Ken Oberkfell. Third walk in the inning issued by Kepshire. Oberkfell, a former Cardinal, of course, and a very popular player when he was here. He is batting .254, no homers, 4 RBIs. Playing second base today. And Kepshire continues to have all kinds of trouble locating the strike zone. A walk to Oberkfell would force in a run. Here's the 1-0. That missed low, ball 2. Now time will be called. Terry Pendleton trots over from third to try to settle down Kepshire.
Well, here's a good pitch for Obi. He can kind of zone an area. He's a good line drive hitter, as you know.
Here's the 2-0. Downstairs, 3-0. Somewhat unusual to see Kepshire wild like this. Only 15 walks and 41 innings coming into this game. He's already walked 3 here in the top of the first. There's a strike. No, it's not. It missed high. And that'll force in a run. Oberkfell hesitated, waiting for the call from Dutch Rennert. And the 4th walk of the inning makes it a 2-0 Atlanta lead. Give Obi an RBI, his 5th of the season. And here comes Whitey Herzog. That's going to be it for Kirk Kepshire. A very strange inning for Kepshire. He got the first 2 hitters with relative ease. Hall on a ground ball, Ramirez on a pop-up. Then the problems began. A walk to Kamensk, a base hit to Bob Horner with an error thrown in. And then 3 more walks to Perry, Harper, and Oberkfell. And it's 2-0 Atlanta. So Bob Forsch will make his way in from the St. Louis bullpen. The pitch to Bruce Benedict with the bases loaded, 2 outs and 2 runs in. And while Forsch enters the ball game, we'll take time out for this word.
Coming in June to CNN, spend your weeknights with an old friend.
Hi, this is Larry King.
He's 2-2 with a 4.45 ERA. And there are the rest of the numbers on Bob Forsch. He'll be facing Bruce Benedict here with the bases loaded, 2 outs, 2 runs in. Braves getting on the board early in this one. And that's been a situation that Rick Mahler has become somewhat accustomed to. He's gotten a lot of early runs this year. Lifetime, Forsch has a 9-8 record against Atlanta. Five-year-old veteran out of Sacramento. Here's Benedict batting .156, no homers, 1 RBI. There's a called strike, 0-1. fell at first, Harper is second, Perry third. And the one-strike pitch to Benedict misses way outside, 1-1. There's Perry leading off third. Terry Harper at second. Ken Oberkfell over at first. They all walked. And Forsch behind in the count now, 2-1 on Benedict. Now the 2-1 on the way. Did not get the fastball. 2-2. I don't know what kind of a problem gripping the bat today with that badly swollen index finger. But I would imagine it'd be a little tough. Toward the third baseman, Terry Pendleton. He'll step in the bag at third, and that ends the inning. But the Braves scoring early with 2 runs, 1 hit. They lead 3. We've played a half inning. Atlanta 2, St. Louis coming up. Kings still do not have a complete game turned in by any of their pitchers this year. The only club in the major leagues without one. Mailer with a tremendous record, 8-2, 2.66 earned run average. Chance to become the first 9-game winner in the majors. He's 2-1 lifetime against St. Louis. And he's been staked to an early 2-0 lead. St. Louis for Coleman last night, who was inside the park. And he scored standing. One of the most exciting young players to come into the major leagues this season, if not the most exciting to watch. All he has to do is make contact, and he's got a chance for a base hit as long as he doesn't pop the ball up. Exceptional running speed. Now the 0-1. We'll get there, though, and that's out number 1. 1 gone. Ozzie Smith will be the hitter. Smith, a .264 batting average on the year, 2 homers, 12 RBIs. They've turned the lights on here at Busch Memorial Stadium on a very overcast day. One ball, no strikes. Here's Mailer's 1-0. 1-1. Good crowd on hand. They had an advance sale of about 28,000. They draw very well here throughout the season, and always have here in St. Louis. Jack Buck, the veteran Cardinal broadcaster, pointing out before the game that back when they only had 16 teams in Major League Baseball, St. Louis was the southernmost and westernmost city in the majors. And anybody west of the Mississippi followed the Cardinals. There's Jack Buck, Mike Shannon in the Cardinal booth. And that's kind of carried over, even though Major League Baseball has expanded all over the country.
Yeah, people drive really from all over it. Nebraska, Oklahoma, far away to get here.
Popped him up. Right side of the infield, Ken Oberkfell there to make the grab. 2 down. And now Willie McGee. Batting .330 with 1 homer, 14 RBIs. Has had quite a series against the Braves. In the first 2 games of this series, he's driven in 6 runs and has hit his first homer of the year. Taking low, ball 1. 2-0 Atlanta, bottom half of the first. One ball, 1 strike on McGee. That was that off-speed breaking ball of Rick Mailer's. He has become an expert at changing speeds, keeping hitters off stride. He has a good enough fastball, that slow curve, also a straight change he throws from time to time. And here's the 1-1. Downstairs, 2-1. Now the 2-1 on the way. Change up, grounded toward first. Gerald Perry will handle this one. Run to the bag, and it's a 1-2-3 bottom half of the first for Rick Mailer. We've completed one in St. Louis with our score, the Braves 2 and the Cardinals nothing. In front of the lineup card that every manager has posted in the dugout, that has a list of all the players available to play in the game, and as they're used, they are crossed off so a manager knows who's left on the opponent's bench. Rick Mailer leading off the second. Good hitter, batting .214, no homers, 5 RBIs. He really helped his own cause last time he pitched with a 3-run double. Borscht delivers the 1-0. That's outside, 2-0. One of those 122 career victories for Bob Forsch, a no-hitter. That'll be out of play, and the count 2-1. That evens it 2-2. Mailer, Hall, and Ramirez due up here in the second. Down that right field line, that's going to drop for a base hit for Mailer. He will take the turn at first and hold on as Van Slyke quickly gets it back to the infield. So Mailer leads off the second with hit number 2 of the afternoon for Atlanta. And we'll go back to the top of the order now. Albert Hall, who grounded out to second his first time. And again, in case you're just joining us, nothing wrong with Dale Murphy. He's not in the starting lineup today, but he told Eddie Haas after last night's game he was a little tired. He's been in the lineup every day. So he's not starting today, but I'm sure you'll see him along the way somewhere. Here's the pitch to Hall, and it's taken for a strike in the inside corner. Pitch on the way. Line drive right field. That'll fall for a base hit. Mailer will stop at second base. And the Braves threatening again here in the second. Runners first and second with nobody out. Make one correction about Bob Forsch. 2 of his career victories are no-hitters. He pitched one in 1978 against the Phillies, pitched another in 1983 against the Montreal Expos. And his brother Ken also pitched one against Atlanta when Ken was a member of the Houston Astros. Here's Ramirez, who popped to first. 1 ball, no strikes. 2-0 Atlanta. We're in the top half of the second. Braves back home on Wednesday, or on Friday, rather. This is Wednesday, isn't it? We will be back home on Wednesday. We don't play until Friday.
We don't have 5 or 6 days off. I didn't know that.
1 ball, no strikes. Fly ball, straight away center field. Willie McGee waiting. That's the first out. The runners have to hold at first and second. Here's Brad Cummins, who drew a walk in the first inning. One of 4 walks issued by Kurt Kepshire. Both Atlanta runs charged to Kepshire, and both are earned. On Cummins. Brad with only 2 extra base hits this year, both doubles. He is really due to launch a long one of these days. And there's a base hit into left field. Let's see if it'll score Mailer. It will not. Rick, who doesn't run that well, has to hold at third. And the Braves have loaded the bases again here in the second with 1 man out. That's the 3rd hit in the inning, the 4th in the game for Atlanta, and it brings up Bob Horner.
Brad hit it hard. Smacked it right through the hole. Well, I just heard a Cardinal fan yell out something that I guess all managers go through. You know what the fan yelled? He said, "Come on, Whitey." I didn't know Herzog was pitching today. Really, Whitey Herzog, he'd like to force to get these guys out, too.
Bob Horner had a base hit in the 1st inning. And he takes a strike. Deals the 0-1. Grounded toward short. Ozzie Smith to second for 1. Wallace on to first. Got him. Oh, he's safe. Jack Clark unable to hang on, and that means an Atlanta run.
Oh, the Braves got some break. You can't give an error because, as you know, the old cliche rule, you can't presume a double play. Horns does not run well, as you know. Battling a hamstring pull as well, running as hard as he can. The relay had beaten him, and the ball came out of Clark's mitt. You know, actually, they could call an error because Ed Montague had called him out.
And they're going to call an error on Jack Clark for dropping that ball. So charge Clark with an error. It gives the Braves their 3rd run. Bases now have runners at 1st and 3rd, and Gerald Perry, the hitter, he walked his first time up. And the count 0-1. So Forsch could have and should have been out of this inning despite giving up 3 hits. But the error has prolonged it and given the Braves a 3-0 lead. It's only at 218, but for a long time it was down around the 200 mark. He's hit safely in 6 of his last 7 games. Fly ball, left center field, pretty well hit, but Vince Coleman gets over there and makes the catch. And the inning is over. Well, the Braves haven't exactly crushed the ball here today, but they pick up 1 more run, 3 more hits, 1 more Cardinal error, and 2 more runners left. We go to the bottom half of the second. Braves 3, St. Louis 0. Off to a fast start, 315, 8 homers, 32 RBIs. His last 32 at bats, he has 16 hits. And the countdown 2-0. Nothing. Atlanta leads it. We're in the bottom half of the second. Braves trying to pick up a win in the final game of this 3-game series after dropping the first 2. And it's now 2-1. Now the 2-1 on the way. There's the slow curve and missed outside. Outfield deep around toward left. And Mailer's 3-1 on the way. He lost him. League-leading walk total. That's the 28th time he's been given a free pass this year. Brings up the right fielder, Andy Van Slyke. Batting .320, 3 home runs, 17 RBIs. Andy from Utica, New York. Just a few miles up the road from the Baseball Hall of Fame at Cooperstown. It's pretty country up there. Benedict might have caught that foul tip on that finger as well. Maybe it was his foot.
No, I think it was. It kind of limping around. Poor Bruce really getting banged up. Most catchers will wear the index finger out of their glove. In fact, most players will. But Bruce almost has to. That finger was swollen enormously today. Look at that. Poor little digit. It's all wrapped up.
That's That's where he caught that foul tip off the, or where not a foul tip, it was a pitch that glanced off his finger. Albert Hall playing it on the hop. Jack Clark will stop at second base. Hall a little indecisive on that play. Started in for the ball, then decided he couldn't make the play and had to be careful out there because on this turf, if you get too close to a ball that drops, it'll bounce right over your head.
Now, first I thought Hall was deking the runner. He might have kind of deked himself. Hall came in, catch it, then waited. And the ball dropped in front of him for the base hit. So the Cardinals now have 2 on, no one out.
And Terry Pendleton, the batter, hitting .248, 1 homer, 24 RBIs. A very productive hitter despite his .248 batting average. His RBI total right up there at 24. He takes high and away, ball 1. That base hit by Van Slyke, the first hit given up by Mailer. And here's the 1-0. Look out. Oh, that almost caught some of those box seat fans. They're just off to the left side of the screen, and they all had to go for cover on that one. 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That missed. 2-1. Slyke at first, Jack Clark at second, and the 2-1 pitch. 3-1. Mailer encountering a little difficulty here in the second inning. And we await the 3-1 to Pendleton. He takes a strike that fills the count.
The Cardinals, very much of a running ball club. We'll go into their steals stats a bit later, but I wonder if Whitey Herzog will have him running. Jack Clark really does not run well at second base.
And they are not going on this 3-2. Line toward right there, though, and the runners have to hold at first and second. 1 down. Now the second baseman, Tom Lawless, recently called up from Louisville. He's batting .250 for St. Louis. No homers or RBIs. He's in there for Tommy Herr, who's bothered by a mild hamstring pull. Lawless, formerly with the Cincinnati Reds, released by them at the end of spring training and signed by the Cardinal organization. Isn't it funny how things work out, too? Pitch is taken low, ball 1. Lawless was out of options. They couldn't make a deal for him, so they released him. Cardinals signed him. He's been promoted back to the Major League club, and right now Cincinnati hurting at second base with Ron Oster out with an injury. The count is 2-0 now on Tom Lawless. He has great speed. The 2-0 pitch. Broken bat looper toward shallow left. It's going to be caught by Rafael Ramirez, heading back to second. Double play. Ken Oberkfell taking the throw from Rafael Ramirez on a funny-looking pop-up. The bat end went almost as far as the ball did. And it's a pop-fly 6-4 double play to end the inning. Take another look at this one. As we go out, no runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We played 2. It's Atlanta 3, St. Louis nothing.
Now, direct from the future.
They play Philadelphia with a 3-1 lead in the series. That's 8:05 Eastern time tonight, right here at the Superstation.
Terry Harper leads off the top of the third against Bob Forsch. Harper walked in the first inning. And And he takes a strike, 0-1. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors, Atlanta. No runs, 1 hit, 2 errors, St. Louis. Kind of a weird first couple of innings here at Busch Memorial Stadium. A lot of odd plays. And the count even now, 1-1. No other afternoon baseball activity until later on this afternoon when the Cubs play. So we won't have any other scores to give you. That one didn't go far at all, did it? 1 down. Harper fouls to the catcher. Now Ken Oberkfell, who picked up an RBI with a bases-loaded walk in the first. A longtime player here with the Cardinals, played at second base until Tommy Herr came along. Then he moved to third. 0-1 the count. Came over in the deal for Ken Daly and Mike Jorgensen. One ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. 2-1. Cardinals trying to reach the 500 level today. Braves trying to move back to within 4 games of 500. And it's now 3-1 on Oberkfell. Line to right, base hit. Hit number 5 for Atlanta. 4 of those hits coming off Forsch. So Oberkfell aboard with 1 man out, and Bruce Benedict will be the batter. Hit into a forced play his first time. We mentioned the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. They now have a Bowling Hall of Fame here in St. Louis, right across the street from the ballpark. Side, Jack Clark will not be able to get to it. The count 0-1. Spent yesterday afternoon touring the Bowling Hall of Fame.
What is your fondest recollection of that?
They have some bowling alleys there that you can try out. One of which is an old-time bowling alley with a pinboy.
Oh, yeah.
The entry. It's a very interesting building. Very nice design to it.
You know what they say about that? Life is just a 7-10 split.
Who says that?
Old bowlers.
Got a lot of those in that Hall of Fame too. 1-1 the count on Bruce Benedict. If you are a bowler and you get to St. Louis, make sure you stop by and check out the Bowling Hall of Fame. Takes care of Bruce Benedict. And that's the first strikeout for Bob Forsch. 2 outs in the inning. Rick Mailer will be the batter. He's 1 for 1, a base hit to lead off the second.
Pitcher Rick Mailer.
Pitch on the way to Mailer. Misses inside, ball 1. Braves got 2 runs in the first inning on 4 walks and 1 hit. Then picked up an unearned run in the second, 3 hits and an error. Here's the 1-0, and Mailer looks at a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1, fly ball, left field, fairly deep. Coleman, a little bit goofed up on that play. He broke all the way back toward the warning track and then had to come racing in to make the catch. So nothing doing for the Braves in the third. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom half of the third. Atlanta 3, St. Louis nothing. Forsch. On the top of the order, Vince Coleman.
Leading off Jackie Hayes, number 23, catcher Tom Nieto.
Nieto batting .231, no homers, 6 RBIs. He's been doing a lot of the catching in place of Darrell Porter, who's off to a very slow start, both at the plate. Porter hitting only .140. And he's also been having trouble with his throwing, so Nieto getting a lot of playing time in the early part of the season. That's a fair ball. I think it is. He's out. He tried to drop that bunt down and beat it out and bounced right back up and hit him. Give the put out to the catcher.
If he's out of the batter's box and gets struck, as apparently happened, he's out. And I guess he was out of the batter's box.
So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the third. And here's Forsch, who's a good hitter. He's been up only 9 times this year, has 1 hit, but he's a better hitter than that. Mailer deals, and Forsch chased a terrible pitch, 0-1. Lifetime batting average of .207. And as you can see, he's hit some home runs in his career. Here's the 1-1. Fly ball, right field, pretty well hit. Comments going back. He's got it, 2 down. 2 away in the bottom of the third. And the top of the order, Vince Coleman will step in. Coleman flied to left his first time. 3 runs, 5 hits for Atlanta. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 errors for St. Louis. We're in the bottom half of inning 3. Rick Mailer trying for his 9th victory of the season. One ball, no strikes on Coleman. Andy Hawkins is the only other 8-game winner in the majors. The San Diego right-hander is 8-0. Joaquin Andujar has 7 wins. Now the 1-1 pitch, the slow curve fouled off at the plate. And the count 1-2 on Vince Coleman. Played in 28 games for St. Louis since being called up from the minors, and he has stolen 28 bases. And it's now 2-2. Now the 2-2 on the way. The changeup bounced toward first. Gerald Perry will make the play. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Rick Mailer. Nothing doing for the Cardinals in the third. We go to the 4th inning with our score. Atlanta 3, St. Louis nothing. Go to the top half of the 4th. 3-0 Atlanta. Here's John Sterling.
All right, thank you, Pete. The Braves have a 3-0 lead in back of their ace, Rick Mailer, trying to get at least 1 game here in this 3-game series. Actually, it'd be impossible for them to get any more than 1 game unless they replay the first 2. Here's Albert Hall. And he takes the Forsch breaking ball inside, ball 1. Top of the Braves order, it'll be Hall, then Rafi and Brad Cummins here in the top of the 4th. Albert's 1 for 2. Had a base hit off Forsch in the 2nd. And the count to 1-1 as Dutch Reddit called it a strike after a little bit of delay. You have to watch Dutch. He gives a little bit of a delay.
She wanted to go out to dinner.
Are they up in the plane, or is that... Albert way ahead of the chain. And the count 1-2. That's Dutch Reddit. You can hear Dutch in Kankakee, Illinois, when he calls a strike. Count evens 2-2. Force came in relief of starter Kurt Kepshire in the first with the bases loaded in 2 out, and he induced Bruce Benedict to ground to do a force play. 2-2. Curve is just a tad high, and so the count goes full 3-2. Force gave up a run in the second inning, but it was unearned. Jack Clark dropped the relay from second base, what would have been an inning double play. That's fouled off, and back in the crowd and back of the Braves dugout, third base side. Well, when you sit where we sit and you look out at the left field bleachers, you're really kind of in awe of Bob Horner's home run last night. That scoreboard is a long way out. Tom Smith with all the shots, and Albert Hall with a walk. So the Braves get a good start in their fourth, getting the speedy Albert Hall on base.
Shortstop, Raphael.
Let's see if the Braves play a running game. They tried to steal Claudell Washington in the first inning, and it really backfired on him. They kind of telegraphed it a bit. Claudell was nipped on, and then the Braves put a base hit and a sac fly, or what would have been a sac fly together, but didn't score. Hall had designs. He gets chased back. Braves have not done a lot of running this year. And the Cardinals, who of course run the bases better than anybody, have had an inability to throw anyone out. Curveballs high to Ramirez. The Cardinals have given up as a team 27 stolen bases. They have thrown out 5 enemy base runners. And that is a terrible percentage. That's less than 20%. Hall was breaking the wrong way, got hung up. Will he get back? Yes. Ozzie Smith fumbled the throw, and you have to say this, to be honest, even if you're a Braves fan, the Cardinals are malfunctioning everywhere.
Braves are very lucky here. First of all, a pitch out called for by Nieto. Force almost threw a strike. Nieto had to go back and get it. They had Hall trapped. All Ozzie Smith has to do is hang on to the ball and throw on to first, but he dropped it. There's Hall changing his mind, and he would have been out at first base had Smith held onto the ball and got the throw over there, but Ozzie dropped it.
It has been a weirdo here in St. Louis this afternoon. There goes Hall, and the curveball is fouled off as the Braves play hit and run. But imagine throwing out less than 20% of enemy base runners. This is what the Braves have done as a comparison, and I don't know if the comparison is good. Well, it is better. The Braves have given up 36 stolen bases and caught 11 base runners. It's a bit better. Hall's at first base, no one out here in the top of the fourth. Braves lead it 3-0. Hall stops at second base. He was not going, but Ramirez hit right behind the runner into right field, as is his wont. Hall was not going, so their runners on first and second, and no one out.
This really has been a strange game. We've had a lot of unusual plays, and in this particular situation, the Braves sent Albert Hall 2 pitches in a row. Then they elected not to send him, and that's the pitch that Ramirez drives into right field.
I understand. What's the old line? We've met the enemy, and they are us. Here's Brad Cummins. We got 2 very speedy base runners now. Hall at second, Ramirez at first, no one out. Brad today has walked and singled. And the breaking ball is down low, ball 1. Braves haven't exactly clubbed the Cardinals to death today, but they now have 6 hits to go with their 3 runs. The 1-0. Check swing. Cummins does that a lot. Check swing, ground ball rolls into the Braves dugout. Bob Horner on deck.
Like
so many other things about baseball, you could find 10 reasons for any one thing happening or not happening. Is Rick Mailer lucky? Let the Braves score. You look at the base runners. That's Albert at second and Rafi is over at first. Or are the Braves more confident when Rick Mailer pitches? Pitch outside. I don't mean Mailer lucky as a pitcher because his earned run average is great. It's 2.66. There's no question about it. The Braves score runs. That sign is a little optimistic and somewhat premature. It'll be a 2-1. 3-1. The last thing Forsch wants to do is walk the bases loaded and have to get the ball over to Bob Horner. Brad Cummins, will see. A pretty good pitch. 3 balls, 1 strike. It also is a very good hit and run pitch, but I doubt the Braves would do that with Horner waiting on deck. It's popped up off of first in foul territory. Clark. 1 away. Well, Cummins does not handle the 3-1 pitch.
Third baseman Bob Horner.
1 away, and here's Horns, who singled in the first inning. Neil Allen is up in the Cardinal bullpen. He has been a big disappointment for them. He may not be able to pitch here. This is his home area. He came over in that very controversial trade for Keith Hernandez, the fans' favorite. They boo him at every chance they get. He's the subject of every talk show still to this day, 2 years after the fact. Neil Allen, one of those guys might get traded and then recapture his old glory because he was great with the Mets for a couple of years with some very bad teams. Horner rips it to deep center, but McGee is there. 2-way. Now Horner hit it right on the nose again. I'll tell you what, the captain is really swinging the bat. He has his stroke down and his power all back. There's Horns. 2-way with 2 on out. Gerald Perry. Braves had a chance here to open up the gap and now need a 2-out hit from Perry. Gerald has walked and fly to left field. Starting to inch the batting average up. Ended the game hitting 210. He was down about 160 for a while. That's hit to deep right field with State Fair. It is fair. A 3-run home run. No, they call it foul. The ball, now from my vantage point, it looked fair. I have a terrible vantage point on an angle, and if that ball didn't look like it went on the inside of the pole, and apparently it went on the outside of the pole. So Perry misses by that much of getting a 3-run home run and breaking this game wide open. And Pete, I don't know what your angle, we're sitting next to each other obviously, but boy, it looked like the ball went inside the pole from here.
Well, let's take a look at it on the replay. It didn't miss by much. You can see the fans only 2 or 3 seats over from the foul pole reacting to the foul ball, so it only missed by a few feet.
The 0-1. Bounced in the hole. Lawless will make the play, and the Braves do not score in the 4th. No runs on a hit. No errors. 2 left. The Braves have now left 8 men on in 4 innings. At the end of 3.5, it's 3-0 Atlanta. 4-3, 1 away. We're in the bottom of the 4th. The Braves lead at 3-0. Pete Van Weer and John Sterling with you from
Center fielder.
Bush Memorial Stadium here in St. Louis. They asked a pretty good trivia question on the board. I don't know the answer. Pete might. We'll get the answer at the end of 4 innings. You at home can, as they say, play right along with us. Who's the only player to play for the Boston, Milwaukee, and Atlanta Braves? Van Weeren knows it. Here's Willie McGee. That's why he is le professeur.
Should we let him play along, or
yes,
you want the answer?
I'll tell you what, I'll come to you for the answer before the top of the 5th. There's a base hit, and it's in the gap. Will it be 2 or 3? Cummins cuts it off. It'll be 3. Even though Brad Cummins did cut the ball off before it got to the wall, Willie McGee can run about as fast as Vince Coleman.
Yeah, McGee, one of the burners on this club, and whenever he gets a ball in the gap, comments did, McGee still almost always will make it to third base. He very seldom stops at second. And that's his fourth triple of the year.
And I can understand why. He goes from first to third pretty fast, too. One away, here's Jack Clark, the big RBI guy. Base hit, left center. And it is 3-1 Braves.
And with that RBI, Jack Clark now only one RBI behind the league leader, Dale Murphy. That's his 33rd run driven into the season. He's going to get a lot of opportunities to drive in runs this year with all the speedsters in the batting order ahead of him. That breaking ball hung a bit, and Clark jumped right on it.
Jack Clark, a very unhappy player at San Francisco and a very happy player here. Andy Van Slyke takes it down low, ball one.
It's early in the ball game. It's only the fourth inning, and the Braves have a 3-1 lead. But if I were a Braves fan, and I am, you got to be concerned about leaving 8 base punches.
Braves have had chances to break this thing wide open and have not done it. Clark does not run, so Mailer will go right after Van Slyke and gets a strike, 1-1. The Giants did not make a bad trade in sending Clark to the Cardinals, but it was a great trade for St. Louis because Clark is going to have a field day here. He's playing first base now instead of right field. Batting fourth behind all the Gazelles. I'm going to drive in a whole bunch of runs. There's the strike, and the count 1-2. The Giants receive a left-hand starting pitcher, Dave LaPointe. Their starting shortstop, Jose Urube. They're able to deal Johnny LeMaster away. And a first baseman, David Green. So they got some players out of the deal, but the Cardinals wanted a big right-hand power hitter, and they got him. 2-2. Mailer just threw the fastball at Van Slyke's legs. Now we'll see if he comes back with the slow curve or the straight change. He is really an artist. He does not knock any bats out of your hand. He just simply beats you. Clock right near the bag. Braves 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The Cardinals a run, 3 hits, and 2 errors. That was the changeup curve, and it was popped up in short left center. Terry Harper. And 2-away. What Mailer does is keep you off stride. And Van Slyke off stride as he swung of that slow curve. Two-away now. Here's third baseman Terry Pendleton. Braves with a 3-1 lead here in the fourth. Clark at first base and 2 outs. Outside 1-0. Pendleton with a home run and 24 RBIs. Albert Hall coming on, plays it on a hop. Clark holds up at second base. So a little blooper to short center field by Pendleton, and now the Cardinals have first and second 2 out, and here's Tom Lawless.
Second baseman, Tom Lawless.
Redbirds have a triple and 2 singles here in the fourth. Get on the board. 3-1 Braves. Lawless popped into a double play his first time. Curveball hit up the middle, base hit. Clark will score. Albert Hall goes to third base. Pendleton holds at second, but it's a 3-2 ball game.
First RBI of the season for Tom Lawless. Mailer's begun to hang the breaking ball just a bit. That ball up around belt level. And Lawless slapped it right into center.
Now here's Tom Nieto tried to bunt his first time, got struck by his own batted ball outside of the batter's box and was out. And the Cardinals have the tying run at second, the lead run at first base, 2-away here in the fourth. There's the fastball on the outside for a strike. Is outside, 1-1. Torrey Pendleton at second base and Tom Lawless at first. Braves play Nieto straight away. Curveball hit up the middle. Pendleton will score. Now Nieto can get to first. There's no one there. The throw back to third, and he's out. Lawless trapped off third base. Nieto had nowhere to go. There was no one in back of him, so he just ran halfway up the line to draw a throw, and Lawless was caught off base. The Cardinals have tied it, but they really did self-destruct. And in the bottom of the fourth inning, the Cardinals get 3 runs on 5 hits. No errors and 1 left as Lawless gets picked clean from 8-5. 8-5. And that is really one of the oddest games you've ever seen. We're tied at 3 as we go to the top of the 5th, along with Pete Van Wieren and John Sterling from Busch Memorial Stadium. Okay, now Pete Van Wieren, who played for the Braves in Atlanta, Boston, and Milwaukee.
That was Eddie Matthews.
Also played for the Atlanta Crackers.
Yes, he did.
Matthews, I guess, came up to the Boston Braves in their last year in Boston. Then Milwaukee and Atlanta. Great Hall of Famer Eddie Matthews. Here's Terry Harper in the 5th. And the count evens as Harper misses the curveball. He sees a lot of curveballs. He and Brad Cummins both.
That may be the only time in baseball history that a player has moved twice with the same franchise.
Yeah, there's a bloop, but Ozzie Smith will get it.
Ozzie covers so much ground at shortstop, it makes it look so easy. Very effortless player.
1 away, here's Obi, who's 1 for 1 with a walk. Got an RBI when he walked with the bases loaded in the first, then he singled hard to right field. The Braves have blown their 3-0 lead. We're tied at 3. 3-6-0 for the Braves, 3-6-2 for the Cards, and in truth, the Cardinals have really helped the Braves out today. That pop-up, when it comes down, will be caught in foul territory by Jack Clark, 2-way. Here's Bruce. It was 0 for 2 on the day. Benedict would not be catching today if Rick Cerrone was healthy, but Rick Cerrone contracted a virus and was a little wobbly today, so Bruce doing the catching again. The count 2-0. There's Rick. Looks like he's all set to go in the game or go down and catch someone in the bullpen. Sitting next to David Pursley. Walks on 4 pitches. That brings up Rick Mahler with 2 outs. Last year, Mailer had a very good year with the bat. He had about 21 or 22 hits. This year, with a hit in the first inning, Mailer is now 7 for 30 on the year. And when he goes up to the bat, he's ready to swing it. No homers and 5 RBIs. Whiffs at the curveball, strike one. One and one. The walk by Forsch against Benedict was Bob's second of the day, and the 6th given up by Cardinal pitchers. Kepshire had terrible control troubles in the first inning. Now the Braves in 4 2/3 innings have had 6 hits and 6 walks. Pendleton will make the play going across the diamond. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. Ernie and Skip will be over in just a minute. At the end of 4 1/2 innings of play, the Braves and Cardinals are deadlocked at 3.
Top floor. The top floor. The Braves and their arch rivals, as shown here, the Cardinals, go to the bottom of the 5th. Ernie Johnson, Skip Carey with you now, and pitcher Bob Forsch, who has pitched very well in relief, will lead it off in a 3-3 game.
Leading off, pitcher Bob Forsch.
Forsch lined hard to Kamensk on his only at bat. The hits are even at 6. The score is even at 3. And Mailer misses outside. 1 ball, no strike. Forsch is a good hitter, better than his stats for this season. He's over 200 lifetime and has 7 homers. And he hit that ball well to deep left. Harper looks up and waves goodbye. He now has 8 homers. And the Cardinals have the lead. The 5th home run ball thrown by Mailer this year.
Let's see what it was. A fastball, a little bit up, and Forsch hits his 8th career homer. Went in left center field.
And here's Vince Coleman in the top of the order. Jeff Dedman begins to throw in the Atlanta bullpen. Whitey Herzog likes what he sees. A strike at the knees to Coleman, who is 0 for 2. He's flied to left, bounced to first. There's Dedman getting heated up. 4-3 St. Louis. A ball and a strike to count. Corner in close at third, of course. This guy is maybe the fastest baseball player ever. He doesn't get cheated with his swing either. 1 and 2. NBA basketball on CBS tonight. Rick Barry, Bill Russell will have the Boston-Philadelphia game for you at 8:05. That was an unauthorized promo. I hope I don't get in trouble for that. Check swing, foul into the Atlanta dugout. The let-up caught him looking. Coleman didn't think so, but he's out of there. That is the first strikeout for Mailer.
He hasn't seen Mailer this much and that much, and last night he saw Garber's change up. He was just fooled. He wasn't complaining, a little embarrassed.
Ozzie Smith 0 for 2. 1 ball, no strikes. This comes under the we report the news, we do not interpret it department, but there's a helicopter flying around the ballpark. First the pitch. 2-0. Trailing behind is a banner saying, Laurie, happy anniversary, love Andy. It is to be hoped that Andy is Laurie's husband. Lashed foul by Smith, 2-1. Fred Bird has arrived on the scene, Ernie's favorite mascot. Rick is really struggling. He does not have his good stuff. 3-1 the count.
Redbird's really got the wheels.
Nice hair, too. He was taking all the way, and the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Popped him up, foul territory. Might be playable. Horner with his back to the infield. Good play. 2 out.
That's a good play by the captain. Your ball tends to jump around a little bit in the air, and he pulls a basket catch. Nice catch.
McGee has bounced out, tripled and scored. It was high. 1 ball, no strikes. There you go. That acted like a screwball. Caught the outside corner. 1-1. The change. Blowing away. 2 balls and a strike. And a strike is the count here, no matter what the scoreboard says. It's got a 2-1. And he walked it. And Willie might be doing some running here as Jack Clark advances to the plate. McGee is 14 out of 16 in the stolen base department. Chase him back to first base. Dedman is ready if needed in the Atlanta bullpen. Close play, but he got back. Clark has walked and singled home a run.
Benedict changes his stance for that runner at first so much that he asked Dutch Renner to back off a little bit because he wants to get a good shot at him. You can see the split screen.
There's the strike. Sure, Pete and John told you Benedict's badly swollen index finger on his left hand. Almost picked Gerald Terry off. That throw to first. Close, but he's back. The let up stayed inside. Count evens 1-1. Tom Smith, our director here this afternoon. Play again, he's back. 4-3 St. Louis. Relief pitcher Bob Forsh's home run has given the Cardinals the advantage. Braves have blown a 3-0 lead. He's going. Picked the perfect pitch. McGee is hurting. Gene Gieselman, the Cardinal trainer, is on his way out. He and Obergefell got tangled up down there. Looked like a hand injury. Let's look at it again.
I'm wondering if the ball hit him or whether Obergefell's hand hit him. Let's see. Looks like the ball might have hit him right in the hand. Caromed off, and they're tending to him right now.
It looks like he may have dislocated a finger from the way they are acting out there, and that hurts.
Here's one more look. Ball, glove, and Obergefell's hand right there, but I think the ball hits it. Right hand is up. Can't see for the ump. If he dislocated it, they'll just snap it back in place. It might be tender tomorrow, but many times you can play that particular day, even though all of a sudden your knuckle looks like a tin.
So McGee swipes the base.
His 15th.
He's been cut down only twice. 1-2, the count to Jack Clark. McGee edges away. Almost hit him inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Horner fields. Horner throws. Low ball gets away. McGee tries to score. He'll make it easy. An error on Horner, and it's 5-3.
Cardinals played giveaway early in the game. Now the Braves are returning the favor. Good throw has him. Perry tried to scoop it, but he couldn't come up with it. Ball got away, and little collision there as Perry reaching for the ball, but McGee, he just kept on running. Here's another look. And the same thing happened. And now you'll watch McGee score. No, you won't.
It's 5-3. Here's Van Slyke. 1 ball, no strikes. Pirates in town at 7:40 Friday and Saturday, 2:10 Sunday. There's a strike, 2-1 to Van Slyke, who was singled and flied to left. Clark at first, 2 out, but 2 in. Three balls at a strike. Cardinals, and this is a surprise to me, have played 500 baseball on grass fields this year. Van Slyke walks, 2 are on with 2 out. Here's Terry Pendleton. He has made the decision, I think, to stay with Mailer. He has. Cardinal general manager Dal Maxville, formerly our third base coach, wants to be remembered to his many friends down in Atlanta. Cardinals feel that all they need is consistent relief pitching, and they can contend for the Eastern Division title. And they may just be right. Pendleton 1 for 2. A ball and 2 strikes.
They would also like a Bob Forsch to be a starter. They seem to be a little light there, but if Forsch pitches well today, and so far he is, he'll probably start next.
There are 2 out and 2 on, and the 1-2 to Pendleton. Here it is. Boy, he got a pitch up, and he had some cut and fouled it back. Pendleton with a homer, 24, runs batted in. There's your on-deck hitter. Little looping pop fly. Ramirez gets there, and the inning is over. About 2 runs score, one of them unearned. On 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left. At the end of 5 complete. 5-3 St. Louis. A strike at the knees. 1-2, the count to Hall. That is Albert's yearly mark, 4 out of 12. That didn't miss by much. Tried to sneak the fastball by on the inside corner. It's full now, 3-2. 5-7-2 for the Cardinals, 3-6-1 for the Braves. No baseball tomorrow, 7:35 TV time, Friday night. Either Steve Bedrosian or Pascual Perez will pitch for Atlanta on Friday evening. A can of corn. One out of the 6th. Rafael Ramirez is 1 for 3. Braves have left 9 runners aboard. 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. Rafi 1 for 3. Sharply hit right at Pendleton. Boy, he's a good-looking third baseman. 2 out. And Brad comments the batter, 1 for 2 with a walk. Bob Horner moves on deck.
Right fielder Brad Collins.
All the way to the screen. 1 ball, no strikes. Forsch has been pitching since the first inning when he relieved Kurt Kepshire. A strike. No carry to that. Coleman comes in 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, and the inning is over. For the first time today, the Braves go in order. We move to the bottom of the 6th. It's 5-3 St. Louis. One away, and Tom Nieto will hit the Cardinal catcher. He's 1 for 2, a run-producing single in the 4th. He's driven in a run in each of the 3 games of this series. Big burly right-hand hitter out of Downey, California. Nothing and one. Benedict has had one of those series. Boy, he has got more foul tips bouncing off that body. Bruce heads to Chicago tomorrow for that player rep meeting. Things are beginning to sound a lot like they sounded 4 years ago, aren't they?
All muddled up.
Yeah. A ball and a strike to Nieto.
Talked with Bruce a bit about it, and he said we're going to look at all the issues. He wouldn't say strike vote because he's not supposed to. I had to say that, and but both sides have interjected a lot of things, and it doesn't look like they're any closer to settlement than they were back in December. Hopefully that's wrong, though. Hopefully they are closer than that.
2-1 to the Cardinal catcher. Popped him up short right field. Comments comes on and calls for it. 2 down. And Bob Forsch will bat. He homered his last time and gets a well-deserved hand from the crowd. He has allowed just one unearned run since coming into the game in the first. Two out, nobody on. Nothing and one. He and brother Ken, the first brother combination in baseball history to pitch no-hitters. Is that true? Dizzy Dean never pitched a no-hitter?
I don't know if
All did.
we'll have to check it.
Throw to first. The inning is over. Nothing doing in the bottom of the sixth. We go to the seventh. The Cardinals lead by 2.
In 1982, Toyota introduced the
Star Dale Murphy. To subscribe, just send $8.95 for the next 9 issues to Braves Banner, Post Office Box 89162, Atlanta, Georgia 30312. Braves baseball, read all about it in the Banner. And Dizzy Dean did not pitch a no-hitter, and everyone connected with baseball almost knows the story.
Everyone except Richard Croker knows the story.
It was a doubleheader, I believe, in Brooklyn, and Dizzy Dean pitched a 2 or 3 hit shutout in the first game. Paul Dean, his brother, pitched a no-hitter his second game, and Dizzy said, if I'd known you was going to pitch a no-hitter, I'd have pitched one too.
There's the only man who has never heard that story before, folks, right there.
Richard Croker. That good-looking guy. The young one.
And Bob Horner leads off the Atlanta 7th. 1 ball, no strike. 5-3 St. Louis. Horner is 1 for 3. Wind beginning to kick up again here. Horner rips one to center. That'll fall for a hit. McGee over to cut it off. Bob has his second hit of the afternoon. And Gerald Terry is the batter, 0 for 2 with a walk. He just missed a 3-run homer earlier in this game.
First baseman, Gerald Terry.
You see the wind beginning to stir Old Glory and National League pennants out there. Activity in the bullpen for St. Louis now. A righty and a lefty. And Bill Campbell. Ken Daly.
It is.
Pitch to Perry is a strike. 0-1. After a horrible year last year, Ken has bounced back and pitched very well for the Cardinals. They're very happy with him out of their bullpen. The 0-1. Just missed high and evens the count, a ball and a strike. Easy play for McGee in center field. Gerald's troubles continue. He's 0 for 3. Terry Harper, the batter, 0 for 2 with a walk. Ken Oberkfell moves on deck. The hits are even at 7, but we have stranded 9. The Cardinals have left just 4 men on base. Ball gets away. There goes Horner. Nieto will not have a throw. We'll see how they score it. Bob is in scoring position with 1 out.
Wild pitch.
Cincinnati and Chicago will be getting started in about 20 minutes. That'll be the only other afternoon game in baseball today. Harper steps out of the batter's box. Richard, you're very photogenic. I think you should audition for an on-camera position. Look, isn't he cute? Aw. He's blushing, folks. Nieto to the mound to talk it over with Bush. That's an accomplishment. I've been trying to embarrass you for 5 years, and we finally did it. It's great. 2 balls, no strikes. Now let's win the game. 3-0. So Forsch beginning to struggle here in the 7th. He's been pitching since the 1st. But he's normally a starter. Whitey Herzog in the Cardinal dugout with his pitching coach, Mike Rourke. They turned him loose, and he popped the foul back and out of play. Harper jumped all over the 3-0 pitch, but fouled it back. Harper represents a tying run at the plate. Full count now, 3-2. 28,729 paid here this afternoon. Horner at second, 1 down. Sharply hit. Horner scampers back to second. 2 out. And it's up to Ken Oberkfell if the Braves rather are going to get on the board here on the 7th. Oberkfell 1 for 2 with a walk. He walked with the bases loaded, driving in a run back in the 1st. There's the strike on the outside edge, 0-1. Ken at 261 for the year. Dedman begins to work again in the Atlanta bullpen. play hit at the second baseman. Lawless has it, and that does it for the 7th inning. Lawless almost threw it away. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. The Cardinals 5, the Braves 3. They'll face the top of the Cardinal order with Vince Coleman starting it off. Bring you the rest of the way on Braves television. Here once again, Ernie Johnson.
All right, Skip, thank you. Coleman is hitless today, 0 for 3. He'll be followed by Smith and McGee, the first 3 men on their relay team. Rick Mailer has allowed 5 runs on 7 hits. Daly continues to throw. He might be in there in the 8th inning. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Daly's near bullpen. See the former Brave. He saved a couple of games on his last 2 outings. Dedman continues to throw for Atlanta. Slow curve, fly ball center. Albert Hall. 1 down. And there's Jeff Dedman. Ozzie Smith 0 for 3. Defeat in itself. They've held their 1-2 hitters hitless today. But Forsch has hit a home run. He's a pitcher. That got him out in front. Bouncer first. Perry, nice play. 3 unassisted on Ozzie Smith. Now Willie McGee. Mailer's due up second. In the top of the 8th, Daly now making his way toward the dugout, so it appears that he'll be the pitcher. Strike call. One ball and strike. One and 2. Toward Horner. Very easy inning for Rick Mailer, bottom of the 7th. We go to the 8th. It's 5-3 St. Louis.
Something on it.
I got Ben Gay. I don't want to go back to work smelling like Ben Gay.
Don't. Try Sports Cream. It smells nice and clean.
Does it work?
Sports Cream has a strong clinically tested pain reliever. It starts to penetrate immediately to relieve sore muscle pain.
No workout today?
Sure. I feel great. Why?
You, usually smell like Ben Gay.
Not anymore.
Sports Cream, the fast-acting pain reliever that smells great.
Philadelphia tries to stay alive in their battle against Boston. America's Super Shootout, the NBA Finals. Live at 8:05 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WTBS. Tonight.
Thursday, James Stewart and Richard Widmark make an odd couple.
Good friend. He's brain, big brain.
Two rode together.
Go on, Jim, and knock that piece of firewood off his shoulder.
Then Henry Fonda has a mission.
Our indicator group's got a wrong signal. Look off to Moscow. We've got to stop it.
Can he stop them?
No one can interfere with the fail-safe box, Mr. Raskob. No one.
Fail safe. It all begins at 8:05 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WTBS Thursday.
There you see Dale Murphy in the on-deck circle with Bruce Benedict. Murphy will bat for Mailer. Daly is a new pitcher. He has a couple of saves this year, and Skip mentioned he has pitched very well. This is his 13th game. No wins or losses, but his ERA is under 1, 0.54 with 2 saves. As you took a look at some further statistics, Benedict playing hurt today. Caught that foul tip yesterday on the gloved hand. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Daly said that he had his pitching motion altered just a tad. Difficult to tell from here what it was. He said it helped him. He was traded over to St. Louis along with Mike Jorgensen for Ken Oberkfell last year. His first pitch is lined to left field by Benedict, base hit. Benedict with a single to left off the first pitch from Ken Daly. Daly's 26 years old, born in Idaho. The announcement on Dale Murphy. Murphy in his 533rd game as Bill Campbell starts to throw. Murphy with 11 homers and 34 RBIs. He represents the tying run. Benedict off first base. Lottie also gets up. A righty, Jeff Lottie, starts throwing. As you take a look at the Cardinal bullpen, Benedict at first base. He just singled. 2-0. Strike call. The Braves got off fine in this game, leading 3-0 after 2. A little bit high, but St. Louis came back with 3 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and it's now a 5-3 game. Forsch pitched very well, 6 1/3 innings, 6 hits and a run, unearned, and he hit a homer. And Murphy walks, and the Braves have something going here in the top of the 8th. The batter will be Albert Hall. He's looking at Bobby Wine for a sign as Bruce Sutter goes down now. If the Braves take the lead, you'll see Sutter. If they don't catch up, you'll probably see Dedman. And now Sutter is going to find out the reaction of some of the fans down there in left field. It's his first time warming up in this series. Hall. Strike called 0-1. Albert had a base hit in the second. Eddie Haas has to make a decision whether to have him swing or bunt the runners over. Benedict with very little speed at second. Murphy at first. Pitch is high. On the road many times you play to win and don't play to tie, so you swing away. If you're at home right now in the bottom half of the 8th inning, there would be a bunt for sure. Reason being, at home you always get your last rap. 1 ball, 1 strike. A little bit high, 2-1. Daly's been a little wild. After his first pitch was slapped for a single, he walked Murphy. He's behind now on Albert Hall. And the 2-1. Hit foul off to the right. 2-2. Rays trying to keep from sinking to 6 under 500. That's been their low water mark a couple of times this year. Now a 2-2. Hall strike 3. Hall called out on strike.
See it again here. He threw him a fastball at the knees on the inside corner. That's a tough pitch to make. Give Daly credit.
Now a little meeting. They talk over Rafael Ramirez. Smith, Daly, and Nieto. always felt Daly had a good curveball, and he could be used effectively against left-handed batters. Had an up-and-down career. The Braves gave him every opportunity. Up and down from Richmond several times. Now the Cardinals using him strictly relief. He was a starter for Atlanta and Richmond. It's up to Ramirez to keep it going. Fastball high, 1-0. One thing about relief, you get in there, you can let it all hang out. Just fire away. You don't have to pace yourself. 1-0. Let up. Over. That's a little new. Slow curve. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners first and second. Murphy first. Benedict second. Atlanta needs 2 to tie. And the 1-1. Bouncing ball could be 2. Ozzie. Double play. 6 unassisted to first. Going on, we take a look at the inning-ending double play. Taylor made. He's heading for second. Couple of steps. Throw to first. It's all over. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still 5-3 St. Louis.
At 8:05 Eastern Time. Philadelphia at Boston.
Jeff Dedman, a new pitcher. Mailer went 7, allowed 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. 3 walks and a strikeout. Dedman on in relief.
Jack Clark.
Clark will lead it off. He'd be followed by Andy Van Slyke. Then Terry Pendleton. Braves had a chance in the 8th. They got the first 2 runners on with nobody out. First pitch, fouled away. 0-1. One ball, 1 strike. Back at the booth of Jack Buck and Mike Shannon. And I think they missed it. There's Jack Buck in the red jacket. Mike pointing to where it hit, and you should have had it.
That was Jack's play to make, no doubt about it.
Sure. The Silver Fox missed it. 1-2. Foul, all right. Jack Clark batting .318. He's always been a good hitter, a slugger. He hits the ball hard. Now the 1-2. He laid off the breaking ball.
By the way, speaking of sluggers, I can't understand why we haven't heard from Hollywood.
For Slugger's wife, too?
Yeah.
Probably a little early. The reviews aren't all in yet. Wide to right.
But enough of them are.
1 down.
The guy from Us Magazine liked it. Movie reviewer from Us Magazine liked Slugger's wife. Oh. I think he is in the distinct minority.
Van Slyke is 1 for 2 with a walk. work foul. 2 away.
Tom Smith brings up a pretty good point. He says the guy who used to work for Us Magazine, like, he may be right.
Pendleton batting .250. Today's 1 for 3. So far, this businessman special has been a disappointing lunch for Atlanta. They trail by 2. Fastball just inside. 1-0. Braves will be in Greenville on Monday at the exhibition game. Have Pittsburgh over the weekend. Then next Tuesday, the Cardinals will be in town. And you'll get a chance to see how these guys run. And they're not bad hitters either. 2-0. Fly ball, short left, Terry Harper. So Dedman makes short work in the bottom of the 8th at the 1-2-3. We go to the 9th inning, 5-3, St. Louis. Pass along our sympathies to Gene Nelson, who works in Alpharetta and a good friend and a big Braves fan. She spent her vacation watching the Braves in West Palm Beach. Wore a Braves t-shirt down there and got autographs and had the time of her life. And she lost her son in a helicopter accident in Duluth, Georgia. There's a drive to left field that Kamensk has hit well, but it's caught right on the warning track. 1 down. 1 out in the 9th. Gene Nelson lost her son Danny, and we just want to pass along our sympathies and our prayers to Gene. She has had a few rocky times in her life, and we know that she'll handle this no matter how difficult it is. Here's Bob Horner. 1 down in the top of the 9th. And Horner singles to left. Daly really hasn't fooled the Braves, but he has 1 out here in the top of the 9th.
First baseman, Gerald.
And the tying runs at the plate.
Lottie and Campbell again, and they're both in.
Gerald Perry, who's walked, flied out, grounded out, and flied to center. Strike call. Horner at first, not being held. That's a line drive single, center field. The Braves have the tying runners aboard. And that is the 3rd hit off Daly in 2 innings. And Terry Harper, the batter, I don't know if Whitey will stay with Daly a lefty or not. You would think no. But it looks like he will stick with him. Let's see. He's moving around. He has made up his mind to let Daly pitch, even though a right-hander's up there. 2 on and 1 out. Curveball missed 0-1. Oberkfell on deck. Harper looking for his first hit of the afternoon. Here's the 0-1. Bouncer towards short. Smith takes it at second, throws to first, and the game is over. A double play, and Ken Daly comes back to haunt the Braves. Harper hits into it, 6-4-3. He showed confidence, did Mr. Whitey Herzog. He stayed with Daly, and he got the right-handed hitter to hit into a double play, and Atlanta has lost 3 in a row here at St. Louis. Final score, Cardinals 5, Braves 3. Back with the total.